This is Belief Radio, positive thinking radio for positive thinking people with Rich Smith and Phil Keeler. To find out more about us and listen to the show, go to beliefradio.com or download us directly from iTunes or the TuneIn app. You can also listen to the latest show on the Belief Global YouTube channel and sometimes even see us. Follow us on Twitter as well, at Belief Global, and on Facebook as well. If you want to learn more about the range of products and services we offer, do go to beliefglobal.com. Send your emails as always to info@beliefglobal.com.
Today, my guest is Norman Pearce, the Chief Executive of Croydon Business Ventures, one of 150 enterprise agencies in the UK. Welcome, Norman.
Good morning, Richard.
I am correct in that, aren't I? There's quite a few networks of enterprise agencies around the country.
You are correct.
Good. Well, it's good for you to be on Belief Radio, and I hope the listeners are going to enjoy your tones and what you've got to say to us. But could I start by you telling us a little bit about who is Croydon Business Ventures? Because you're the chief executive, the head honcho, so to speak.
Croydon Business Venture was established over 30 years ago by Bernard Wetherell, who became Lord Wetherell, Geoffrey Dove and a few other far-sighted local business people as an enterprise centre.
Right.
And with support from Croydon Council, we started off in a very, well, not we, because I wasn't there then, in a very small office, and we eventually moved to Acorn House in Cherry Orchard Road, which has been our home for 25 years until a couple of weeks ago when we had to vacate due to the council needing the building back for extra schooling at Oval School.
And I would say that we're actually at Croydon Business Ventures today at your new offices, which are fantastic. It's a new development completely, isn't it?
Thank you very much. Yes, this has been part of a 10-year journey that I started as part of a Section 106 with Barrett's, and they've been very supportive. Croydon Council have been very supportive, and we've only been open a very small while, and we've only got 9 offices left.
That's brilliant news. I mean, how many businesses in total will be in the building when it's full?
There'll be 38 businesses in the building and about 140 people in the building. And as well as using the building for making our income, because we draw down no money elsewhere, we do mail and message services, but we also do our training, which is free of charge.
Wow.
So we have a half-day training course, we have a 3-day new business training course, and from that people go on to do mentoring and support.
I mean, it sounds like a jewel in the crown for anybody who's just, well, maybe even not started the business, but just looking for advice, just to think about, well, is it viable for me to start a business?
That is one of our great successes, because you can come and see us free of charge and we discuss all your ideas. And we won't say you're right or wrong, but we'd say, have you considered this? Have you considered that? Yeah. And we take it as a success if we stop somebody throwing their redundancy money away.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. But because we see these programs like Dragon's Den, where they get asked the questions, how much money have you sunk into this already, and your children's inheritance, and then maybe you should stop putting any more money in and do something different.
Well, we actually live in the real world, not the television world. And the big thing that we've got lots of advisors, lots of mentors who've got years of experience, and we're all here to help everybody, existing businesses, startup businesses, all of them.
Yes. It sounds a fantastic venture for anybody looking to start a new business. How long have you, as the organisation? How long have you been the sort of chief executive of the organisation?
In truth, too long, really. Because I should have walked. Usually as a chief exec, I look at a 5-year stint. Yeah. But as I said, this has taken 10 years to get to where we are, and I'm very excited. And we've got plans for another enterprise hub as well.
What, within Croydon, Croydon area?
Within the Croydon area. We've got Park House in Park House Central, and we've got Wetherell House Business Centre adjacent to Wandle Park, where we are.
And so what do you think it is that makes somebody want to start a business? What's the unique characteristics of your typical entrepreneur?
You must have a dream. That's the most important thing. And you must be realistic. You must be prepared to work hours and hours and hours, work very hard, network. And the other thing, you've got to take a risk.
Yes. Why do you think some people don't want to take that risk? You know, because some people have maybe got some redundancy money. They've been working for somebody else, and they might have a dream, but there's just something stopping them. You know.
Well, everybody's different, but the thing that I do, because I go into schools, colleges and to prisons, is we talk about that anybody can do anything they want to do. And some of the cleverest people I've met are in prison, actually. It's just unfortunate they're in prison.
How would you advise somebody who was sitting down here now with a business idea, and what would be your top tips for them? You know, for setting out, what's the starting point? So they've got a dream. What do they do? What else do they need to have in place?
They need to telephone 0203 747 4747 or look at our website www.cbvltd.co.uk and come and see us.
Yeah.
And we will take them to the next stage.
But you know, for listeners out there who aren't going to be able to do that, who live in Chile or Argentina, I'm just thinking, what would be some of the sort of tips for starting a business that to send them in the right direction?
The first thing you need to do is to convert the ideas that you've got into paper.
Yeah.
You need to sit down and list all the things that you need to do. And everybody talks about business plans for the banks. The business plans aren't for the banks. The business plans are for you. All you're doing is the start of a journey. You want to start where you are, and you need to how to get there.
Yeah.
And on the way, there may be challenges, but you can get around these challenges if you know where you're going.
Do you think there is such a thing as a problem?
No, there's an opportunity.
There's an opportunity.
Or opportunities.
Yes. Why do you think people get stuck on the problem? You know, and because a lot of people do, don't they? They think they only see problems.
Well, the wine bottle's either half empty or half full. And you get different characteristics. I can't say the words.
Characteristics.
That's the word. Characteristics of different people. It's like a football team. We can't have 11 Wayne Rooneys.
No. No, you need a few stalwarts.
You do. And that's the same with run your own business. The one thing about run your own business as a sole trader, and when you start off, there's only you.
Yeah.
And you've got to think about the impact it has on the family and everybody else. And you can achieve anything you want to.
It's it fits in very well with our own motto, which is belief, anything is possible. Where do you think belief comes from? Self-belief, I'm talking about, in people. Because some people seem to have oodles of it, and other people seem to doubt themselves. And
I don't know. I don't know if it's through their childhood or their upbringing or whatever, but I see people from every race, religion, left-handed, right-handed, all different people. And you can all succeed. Some people are good at sport, some people are good at music. But the important thing is, if you're going to start a business, it's not about chasing the money. It's about doing something that you are really enthusiastic about. Yes. And then converting that into a good process, a good business, and then the money will follow.
I would agree with that entirely. You find that a lot of people, whether they don't necessarily have to be multi-billionaires or anything, but they didn't set out necessarily for the money. It was the pure passion of doing something, whether it's Mick Jagger, who had a passion for music, or Warren Buffett, who had a passion for business and finance. He was driven by that passion. And that's what led to the money. The money was almost like an accident afterwards. It seems to attract itself to people who, have enthusiasm and passion for something. Yeah.
This is where I've gone wrong, I think, because I haven't got the money.
Well, it's not the be-all and end-all, is it?
No, I think good health and good friends and everything else is very, very important.
I think,
but I've got lots of stories where only the other day I met somebody who started off with us before my time at Acorn House.
Yes.
And they went on and the business has grown and they got the contract to do all the wiring and the CCTV cabling here.
That's amazing.
It's a very small world.
So, anything is possible, as they say. Anything is possible. Tell us a little bit about you and your career, because you've reached your chief executive level. So you didn't start as chief executive when you left school, did you?
No.
What did you do? Tell us a little bit.
Chief exec is just a title.
I know.
I always remember when I first started, my daughter phoned up and said to David on reception, "Can I speak to my dad?" And he said, "Well, he's out putting the dustbins in." When I got home, she said, "You told me you were chief exec and you were doing the dustbins." Well, you have to do all these things. You need to start at the bottom and work all the way through. But I never ventured out to become a chief exec. My dream was obviously to play football or cricket for England.
Ah, right. Yeah.
But when I left school, I had to go into work. I wasn't allowed to go to university or anything. That progressed on. I went into motorsport, and then later on, I started manufacturing my own racing cars.
Oh, really?
From there, I've travelled the world, done lots of different things. Worked for BT, senior management, and that shows a lot of different things, because everybody thinks of BT as just a big business. But it's only when you actually look back and you realise the good training you get and all the other pieces that go with it.
You take a lot of it for granted when you're experiencing it, don't you? But
you do, yeah.
It's gold dust, really.
It is, and you need to look back, because you can always learn from looking back. But then I went on to work for Business Link. That was very interesting, and then I became chief exec here.
That's an amazing story, and I think it says to people, young people who are leaving school, is as you said earlier. I think the most important thing one of the most important things you've said, not the only thing, but is follow that passion, get a dream, follow the passion, and then just believe in yourself that anything is possible and go for it. Because I think by having a positive mindset, positivity leads to positivity, and it gives you those people who say, "Oh, I haven't had a chance yet," or life keeps dealing me lemons. Well, that's one sort of attitude, but I think the positive mindset people look at the lemon and say, let's make lemonade from it and let's see what we can do with it and run with it. And just by having that positive spirit, somehow more doors seem to open.
That is quite true, and I've sat on many Dragon's Dens and panels and different things, and the young people of today, a lot of people run them down. There's nothing wrong with them. They've got the Pareto 80, 20, 20,
yes.
80. So 20% cause a bit of trouble, get 80% of the coverage. But all the people I've seen Neats and other people, they're very clever people.
Yeah.
And they just need a bit of help.
Yeah. But you don't get to become, and I know you say it's only a title, but you are the chief executive of a significant business that makes an impact in its community. But you don't leave school and become that overnight. You have to put in the hours. You have to, grasp the opportunities. You have to learn the ropes. And if you're driven by a certain desire, you'll end up in a certain place and never take the limit, I guess is what you're saying, is there is no limit. You only put that on yourself.
That is right. And I suppose the limit for me is I leave home at 4:30 every morning. And it's when I get home at some silly, ridiculous hour and think I've worked a 12, 13-hour day.
Yeah.
But
you feel satisfied.
I enjoy it, yes.
Could you tell us about any particular business? I know you talked about one that had been here 25 years ago and went on to, end up doing all of your cabling for you. What sort of range of companies have come through the business centre here? I mean, what sort of clients do you have staying?
We've had a couple of young guys. They started up as web designers. They are now a very large company in Croydon, doing lots of work for the Croydon community. Another chap started off as a cleaning company, and he's left obviously, and he's now got 1,000 staff working for him.
My goodness!
So we've got other people, just two of them, and they sold their businesses and they went back to work for the businesses. But it's not all about the money. No, they are very successful people.
Do you think entrepreneurial activity, running your own business, is an alternative to going down the getting a job? Is there always going to be a market for entrepreneurs with a good idea?
There will always be a market for entrepreneurs, and one of the other things we support is the Prince's Trust and Young Enterprise, and we have the people from the schools coming and using our facilities, and this opens your eyes to what they can do. And there's a lot of young people, their parents, especially Asian parents, they're working away. They understand that by working hard at school and working afterwards, they can have successful lives as well.
Yes.
You only get out of life what you put into it.
What you put in, yeah. That's so true with anything at all. All right, final question then, because we're coming to the end already. It's gone very fast. Confidence. I think confidence drives just about everything in life. If you're not confident, you tend to look at things maybe in a more negative way or don't even take the risk. Got any ideas or your top 3 tips or whatever for how to build confidence as a person?
I wouldn't know how to say that, but I think you have to look at the England cricket team. I love cricket. And if you're going to go out there worrying about being hit by the ball or something else, you're never going to actually stay in. You'll always be out. You have to have confidence. You have to have belief.
Yeah.
But also, you need to listen. And this is what a lot of people don't do, especially salespeople. They go out to do the sale thinking they must sell, sell, sell.
Yes.
It's not about sell, sell, sell. It's about listening to the potential customers. And our biggest strength is we listen to what people want or need, and we can then signpost them to everybody else. We don't know everything, but we probably know lots of people who can help.
Who can help. So if you don't know, there's a man or a woman out there in your network that you can signpost people to get the support and unlock whatever the barrier, the challenge is. Because most, as you said earlier, most barriers, challenges, problems are just opportunities.
That's correct.
If you look at them in the right way.
Yeah.
Norman, it's been a pleasure listening to you and hearing a little bit about you and a little bit about what CBV does. Could you just remind everybody, if anybody around the world or certainly in Croydon wants to know how to get better business advice, how to get their business moving, how to grow it into that 1,000-strong company, where do they go? Who do they ring? What's the website?
Okay, 0203 747 4747. Email info@cbvltd.co.uk and the website cbvltd.co.uk.
Thank you very much, Norman. It's been a pleasure listening to you. This is Belief Radio. You have been listening around the world. Keep on listening. I hope you enjoyed Norman's inspirational interview and his gems, his golden nuggets of information. But if you have a dream and you believe in yourself, I think the simple answer is go for your dream. Thank you, Norman.
Thank you, Richard.